Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, this is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. A prominent political leader has told President Salva Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar not to assume the responsibility of co-chairing the expected Upper Nile conference. James Magog Chilim has been reinstated as the managing director of South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation nearly 9 months after being suspended. And the residents of Mukungo in Yambio town have mobilized the resources to rehabilitate their road and bridge after the government failed to support them. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Woja Emmanuel, and now the news in detail. A prominent political leader has told the President Salva Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar not to assume the responsibility of co-chairing the expected Upper Nile conference. Dr. Riek Machar has described as ill-intended an announcement made this week that President Kiir and Machar included themselves into the steering committee that will organize the forum in Juba. Last month, the presidency decided it will facilitate a peace and reconciliation forum of the communities of the state to iron out their differences. The conference will be attended by 496 participants comprising of political and community leaders from Upper Nile State. They are expected to discuss cohesion among the 5 communities and unity among the political leaders of the state. President Kiir has reportedly established a committee made up of majority politicians to facilitate the process. According to Dr. Lama Cole, the leader of the National Democratic Movement, such committee will influence the communities by pushing for their political agenda. He said, with such an outfit, the conference may not achieve its intended goal of addressing long-term communal grievances and reconcile the communities. He spoke to iRadio from the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, this afternoon.
Let us take the conference out of the hands of the government, because the government, whether it is the president or the first vice president, each of them want to score points in relation to the governor, choice of the governor, and then put it on the people of Upper Nile. You don't want that. The Upper Nile conference should be left to Upper Nile people. Now you can see what the decree that the president issued yesterday. He made himself the chairman of a steering committee, and the first vice president is his deputy. Now, if there are the people who are chairing the steering committee, whom will they report to? So it means that this is politics. It is not about the people of Upper Nile. If it is left, if the people of Upper Nile are left on their own, the issues that they will discuss is how to end the social fabric that has been destroyed by the conflict that has been taking place since 2013.
Participants for the Upper Nile conference will be drawn from Sudan, Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, Juba, and Malakal IDP camp. The day for the event is yet to be made public. James Magog Chilim, who has been reinstated as the managing director of South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation nearly 9 months after being suspended. In April last year, the Minister of Information, Michael McCoy, dismissed Mr. Magog for intransigence, disobedience, and incompetence in the management of the state-run Broadcasting Corporation. McCoy also said Magog violated the guiding principles of the Broadcasting Corporation Act 2013. He therefore appointed the Director General of SSBC, Susan Alphonse, as acting managing director. Mr. Magog was told to stay out of duties without pay until further notice. But this morning, Magog told iRadio that he has resumed his official duties.
I'm just reinstated. I got a letter. My suspension has been lifted. Nothing much said, but I was told to report to work. So what I have to say is that just take and work as a professional. And back on my mind, I knew I've done nothing. So I'm just starting the work and I'm working. There's nothing much that I can talk about. Since I don't know the reason of suspension, I just pick up the work and I'm doing the work. I believe those reasons that I was suspended, maybe they were investigated when I was away for the last 8 months and 10 days. I have no report, nothing disclosed. I'm just told your suspension is lifted. I got a letter and I'm asked to come back and report back to work. That's it, nothing else. And I would want to tell our media fraternity that our professional is very important. It's so challenging, we have to bear with the time.
The SSPC television, unlike the radio, has come under public criticism for its poor programming. It is also blamed for recruiting an incompetent workforce. This is despite the SSBC enjoys state-of-the-art studios and a broadcast tower, including a $15 million upgrade by the Chinese government. This is iRadio News. Residents of Mukungo in Yambio town have mobilized the resources to rehabilitate their road and bridge after the government failed to support them. Women and men alike gathered gravels and soil to fill up potholes and construct the destroyed road and bridge in Western Equatorial State capital. They mobilized work tools such as spades, hoes, wheelbarrows, axes, and machetes to open up the road and restore the bridge's functionality. Veronica Joel is one of the Mukongo residents who participated in yesterday's voluntary work on the road. She explained to iRadio that the challenges the community in the area faces in accessing social services.
We started the construction of the road because the area which we are living in now, the road which is coming this side is not good. So we sit down and we see that we have to put our mind together and prepare a road whereby our children and pregnant women will be passing, because even in our area we don't have hospital, no school, nothing. So we say that we have to start this thing with our hand so that the government will look onto it to see these people that we started with their hand, and this is whereby we are appealing for some people who can help us, who can support us with what we are doing.
Another resident, Adam Zuma Zino, said pregnant women and other vulnerable groups could not access hospitals and other service centers due to impassable road.
We started our construction today with the entire community of Mukongo area. The road is to connect us to the town. Most of the people gathered for the work with their tools like hails, slashers, and spades. Some of us were using hand methods to construct the road, and it has gone successfully. People were happy with that because through it, this is whereby they can get service. So we are doing it just according to our capacity. The challenge we have pregnant women. The moment they are feeling sick, there is no way to take them easily to the hospital due to lack of good roads where the vehicle can pass and carry them quickly to the hospital. This is one of the challenges.
The residents of Mukungo believe once completed, the road will also help them in transporting their farm produce to Yambio market and access more services such as health, education, and among others. You are still listening to iRadio News. The academic staff of University of Baralgazal in Wau have accused the management of the university of threatening to dismiss them if they do not end their strike. They say the assistant teaching staff issued warnings to the lecturers to facilitate examinations or risk losing their jobs. The academic staff have been on sit-down strike since the middle of last month. They are demanding their unpaid salaries. The lecturers said they have not been paid since the beginning of 2020. They urged the Ministry of Higher Education and that of Finance to pay them off if they are to supervise and suspend their strike. But speaking to iRadio yesterday, the Secretary General of Baralgazal University academic staff accused the administration of dividing the striking staff by forcing them to resume their work. Joseph Ohure said,
Yes, Upper Nile and Rumbek, they are still maintaining their own strike there. But we in the University of Baralgazal, we have been divided by the top administration, as I have said to you. The university currently, you know, the students are eager to sit for their examination, and they are for examination as I speak to you now. And Mr. Peter Atem has called all the teaching assistants because he said they are not part and partial of the strike. So he has called these people and giving them warning that anybody who fails to come and invigilate the examination will be automatically dismissed. So this is why for fear, because the teaching assistants are people who are employed and they are less than 2 years in the university. So they are threatened. That's why they have come to invigilate. So the examination currently, as I speak to you, is going on in the university.
When contacted by iRadio, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs rubbished the claims. Professor Peter Atem said he did not threaten any of the staff.
It is wrong information. I have never threatened any teaching staff. I have concentrated on conducting the examination on date 4 as it should. The executive members of the association, they have come to me telling me that they are going to call back the strike, and they have put it in a written form. The document is available. And as I tell you, it is wrong information. I have never did that. Top administration of the university, we have got a call from the governor of Western Barakazal State to meet with us. So we went. She advised us that you go please and conduct the examination on the scheduled day.
In response, Joseph Ohure said they will continue with their strike until all the arrears are paid.
We are going to have a meeting on the 12th January this month to reach the conclusion. Yes, if there is no salary paid, we shall still declare another strike, either indefinitely and or else see the consequence of what is going to happen.
Lecturers in the other public universities have also gone for more than 8 months without pay. Last year, the Dean's Board of University of Juba appealed to the Minister of Finance to pay arrears of 8 months to all public university lecturers. A professor is said to receive about 500,000 South Sudanese pounds, and a teaching assistant earns about 128,000 South Sudanese pounds, while a lecturer gets about 250,000 SSP per month. And finally, before approaching stories coming from the region and the international scene, the Ministry of Health has confirmed 8 new cases of coronavirus, raising the South Sudan tally to 3,612. The results were obtained from 439 samples tested across the country in the last 24 hours. The number of fatalities due to the virus remains at 63, as there was no new death registered. According to a statement seen by iRadio, the Public Health Laboratory said it has so far conducted 78,156 tests since the virus was first confirmed in the country. The Coronavirus Incident Manager, Dr. Richard Laku, said they are tracing 391 contacts of the confirmed cases. Meanwhile, the number of coronavirus worldwide has surpassed 87 million cases, with over 63 million recoveries and 1.9 million deaths. The public is advised to strictly continue adhering to the social distancing and other anti-coronavirus measures as the number of cases continue to surge globally. In South Sudan, you can report any suspected cases of the virus to the nearest health facility or call the toll-free number 6666. This is iRadio News, and now my colleague Lasoba Memo joins us with the stories from the international scene. Hello, Lasoba.
Thank you, Waja Emmanuel. In the international scene, U.S. lawmakers have certified Joe Biden's election victory hours after Trump supporters stormed the Capitol building in an attack that left 4 people dead. Officials have said 1 woman was shot by police, while 3 others died as a result of medical emergencies. The mob, which had been encouraged by President Trump, stormed the building in a bid to overturn the election result, suspending a Congress session. The president-elect blasted the insurrection. President Donald Trump later called on them to go home while continuing to make false claims of electoral fraud. Twitter and Facebook later froze his accounts. Elsewhere, South Africa reached a grim milestone on Wednesday by reporting the highest single-day deaths and new cases as it wrestles an aggressive new wave of COVID-19. Health Minister Zweli Mkhize announced that 844 deaths and 21,832 new cases were recorded, with the most casualties in Eastern Cape Province. The previous record for single-day deaths was 572 patients in July. The country has so far recorded 31,368 deaths since the pandemic started, out of a total of 1,149,591 confirmed cases. Finally, armed security personnel stormed Ghana's parliament on Wednesday to restore calm following the chaotic scenes between members of the ruling party and the main opposition. The chaos followed a standoff over the election of a new speaker after new members of parliament had been sworn in. The military and police were in the chambers for about 10 minutes before marching out. That's all in the international scene. Back to you, Wajah Emmanuel.
Thank you, Lasuba Memo, and here joins us Lugala Mulai with the sports news.
Hello, welcome to iRadio 1 O'Clock Sports News. Manchester City are heading back to Wembley for their fourth successive Carabao Cup final, and the way they got past Manchester United on Wednesday felt like a real statement about their current mood and momentum. City's impressive weekend win at Chelsea was their first victory of the season against one of the usual top 6 clubs and was a mark of their recent improvement. But that was against a Chelsea side who had just hit something of a slump, and this time they were up against a resurgent United team who were on a roll and having been flying up the Premier League. Not for the first time though, City boss Pep Guardiola got his shape right and his team produced a brilliant performance against their rivals despite missing several key players through illness or injuries. Lionel Messi scored twice as Barcelona beat Atletico Bilbao to go third in La Liga. A powerful first-time shot from Messi made it 3-1 and Barcelona held on to the victory despite the late 20-yard strike from Atletic's Iker Muniam. The win takes Ronald Koeman's side above Real Sociedad and Villarreal. They are 5 points behind second place Real Madrid and seventh adrift the leaders Atletico Madrid, who have 2 games in hand. This was the first game for Athletic since Marcelino replaced former head coach Gaspar Garitano, who was sacked hours after Sunday's 1-0 win over Elche. Marcelino's side needed just 3 minutes to go ahead as Williams sprinted clear and then cut inside defender Clement Langlet to score. However, their lead lasted only 11 minutes as Messi's cross went over Simon's head and Frankie de Jong hooked the ball to Pedri to equalize. Messi's first goal came just before the half-time, following a 1-2 with Pedri, and he scored his second with a powerful first-time strike following Anthony Griezmann's square pass. Since losing 3-0 at home to Juventus in the Champions League on the 8th of December, Barcelona have gone 7 La Liga matches unbeaten with 5 wins and 2 draws. Mauricio Pochettino's first game in charge of Paris Saint-Germain did not go according to plan as the champions lost ground on leaders Lyon with a draw at Saint-Etienne. Romain Amoma stepped in the opener after Idrissa Gueye lost position on the edge of the PSG area. Mose Kean equalized 3 minutes later when he swiveled and fired home from close range. PSG are now second, 3 points behind Lyon, who beat Lens 3-2 earlier. Pochettino's side leapfrogged Lille on goal difference after Christophe Galti's men suffered a surprise 2-1 home defeat by Angers. Pochettino confirmed as Thomas Tuchel's successor on Saturday, so PSG dominate possession but struggled to create many clear-cut chances in central France. On the other hand, Saint-Etienne, looking to extend their unbeaten run to 7 matches, tested visiting goalkeeper Keylor Navas with strike from Mathieu Debuchy and Dennis Bouanga. Finally, Royal Antwerp forward Didier Ramkelzi has committed the ultimate transfer protest by turning for training in the shirt of their biggest rivals. The Cameroonian international has made no secret of the fact that he wants to leave the Belgian side to join Greek club Panathinaikos, and to push home to the point, he showed up at the club on Monday wearing the t-shirt of rivals Anderlecht. The 24-year-old then took to Instagram to say that on Tuesday he will go a step further and don the shirt of Antwerp's great city rivals best shirt. But in a change of heart, the anchor to Monday's show never came. Instead, Lamkelzi issued an apology through the club's official social media channel. "I want to apologize to the club and the Antwerp supporters because they are magnificent and wonderful," he said. "If I reacted like this, it is because my head was somewhere else. It was not easy for me. I really want to apologize for this gesture." Lamkelzi isn't the first footballer to cause a scene over wanting a transfer, and he surely won't be the last. That is all we had in the sports desk. I am Lugala Mulai.
Thank you, Lugala Mulai, with the round of stories from the sports world. And of course, that brings us to the end of this bulletin. But here is the recap of our main stories. A prominent political leader has told the President Salva Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar not to assume the responsibility of co-chairing the expected panel conference. James Magog Chilim has been reinstated as the managing director of the South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation nearly 9 months after being suspended. And the residents of Mukungo in Yambio town have mobilized resources to rehabilitate their road and bridge after the government failed to support them. That is the end of iRadio Afternoon News. You can also get these stories and updates by subscribing to iRadio News Alerts on your MTN South Sudan number. Call 700 or dial star 700 hash and follow the instructions. If there's a story or an event you like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 912 986 986. It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on Twitter at iRadio Juba. Like our Facebook page, iRadio. You can also visit our website and stream live at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 1/2 the hour. I have been Woja Emmanuel. Thanks for listening.